Welcome everyone to Get Bricked. Today we're checking out a LEGO Advent Calendar. This is the Harry Potter 2023 collection. Now this is set 76418 and includes 227 pieces. So to kick things off, the first interesting thing you'll notice is that the box, once you fold down the flap exposing the individual days, it does actually have a nice picture on that flap. And instead of it just being kind of like a basic snowy scene, we actually get what appears to be a bit of a diorama where the buildings would go. And we got a little bit of a street for Hogsmeade. And I like the fact that the print on the back there where the doors are, it does kind of make it look like it goes off into the distance. So a nice little diorama playset that you can use with all of the builds from this Advent Calendar. Now, starting off the Advent Calendar, on day one, we get our first minifigure, which of course is going to be Harry Potter. I love the outfit he comes with this one, and he comes with a wand as well, so a nice touch for that character. Moving on though, we get our first build for the set. We have this stand from the candy shop with what appears to be a chocolate frog, some beans, and maybe a lollipop on there as well. The next build for day three, we get another candy stand to help go with that diorama. And this one, it looks like it's actually got a scale on the side for when you're measuring out the candy. And we've got a little compartment there as well. Now, day four brings us our first build for the outdoors. We've got this wanted poster from the third movie where it says, "Have you seen this wizard?" And I love the print that we got on that one. So a nice touch to add to the outdoor of Hogsmeade. Now for day five, we get our second minifigure. We get the Ron Weasley minifigure. And I love the hat and the outfit that he comes with, and he comes with a different colored wand as well. Moving on to day six, we get our first build from Zonko's Joke Shop. We get what appears to be some firecrackers and looks like magic wands that are kind of imitating the look of like rockets or something like that. Some kind of noisemaker of some kind, I imagine. Now day seven brings us with another build from the Joke Shop, but this time it looks like it's more of like a cart, maybe piled up with some toys and some gifts that are on there as well. And it looks like it's got a wind-up gear on there too. Maybe that's supposed to be a bow on one of the presents. Now with day eight, we get a sign, and this is the sign pointing to Hogwarts. And again, I love the fact that it's a printed piece and it does look pretty good. And it does fit in with the Hogsmeade theme because there's got to be some kind of signage pointing to Hogwarts somewhere in the village. Day nine brings us our third minifigure and the third of the main trio from the movies and from the book series. We got Hermione Granger. And this one is not bad. I like her hat, kind of keeping all that bushy brown hair tucked in. And I like her outfit and the colored gloves it looks like she's wearing, and her wand, again, in a different color. Now day 10 brings us with a tree build, and it looks like this is a smaller tree, but I like that we have the white pieces on top there, kind of making it represent some snow on the top of the tree, and we get a star on top as well. Now day 11 brings us a mailbox where it actually has a owl that's perched up on top of it as well. Now I'm not sure if that's supposed to represent a specific owl from the series or if it's just supposed to be a general owl delivering some mail, and I like that we get a nice little printed piece with a Hogwarts letter on it looks like. And reaching the halfway mark, we get day 12 with a build for a fountain, it looks like. Now this is a fountain covered in a bit of snow, but I like the translucent blue pieces we got in the middle there, representing kind of like the water of the fountain, maybe that's been frozen because of it being winter. Now kicking off the second half of the Advent Calendar, we've got our next minifigure, and this one is Aberforth Dumbledore, looking sharp in that purple suit. I like the gray hair pieces that they gave him for his beard and hair as well. And of course, he's got a goblet from serving drinks. Now day 14, it looks like we're getting a table, just a small build here with a bottle and a candle on top of it as well, trying to set some atmosphere maybe when you go to visit Aberforth. Now day 15 actually gives us a way to serve drinks for Aberforth as well. We've got this barrel, and I imagine it's a barrel of ale. Maybe it's some other form of wizard drink though. Leave that in the comments if you think there's something else in there. Day 16 brings with it another set for the outdoors. We've got this lamp or street light to go with Hogsmeade Village. You can actually decorate the streets, and it's a nice little build, but I wish we would have got two of those since they are a really small build for the most part. Next up for day 17, we've got our next minifigure, and this one is Madame Rosmerta from the Three Broomsticks. And I like the overall look of her character, and from what I understand, this is a kind of reused character, maybe with different legs, but it doesn't look too bad, and she's got another cup as well, because also she's known for serving drinks as well in the Three Broomsticks. Next, with day 18, we do get a small build of a table. I imagine this goes in the Three Broomsticks, but I like the fact we get a turkey leg and a little glass there with probably some butterbeer in there, and I like the look of that cup. It looks pretty good. Moving next to day 19, we do get a fireplace build, and it seems to be common that with Advent calendars, there's some standard builds you'll get, and a fireplace does seem to be pretty common, at least in the sets that I've seen so far. But I like the look of this one with the fire, and we get the ornament there above the fireplace as well. Now with day 20, this brings us into the home stretch for the Advent calendar, and this one is again somewhat of a simple build. We've got a table and a chair, and on the table it looks like we've got a lamp and then maybe some food items of some kind, some leaf pieces, maybe a set of cherries or something. It's supposed to be representing some food. So it doesn't look too bad, but again, a simple build for this day. Day 21 brings us the last of the minifigures. We've got Draco Malfoy, and I like the look of his outfit for when he's out in the snow. I think this is actually supposed to be similar to the outfit he's wearing when they're kind of visiting the Shrieking Shack, but I love the hat that he comes with, and he even has a wand, again in a different color from the other ones. Next, with day 22, we do get a small bench for outdoors, and it looks like it's got some snow piles building up on the sides of it. Again, a nice small build for this set. You can slot it in anywhere in the diorama, but it's just kind of a minor build for this day. Now for day 23, it looks like they tried to improve upon the previous tree that we got earlier in this set, and we get a larger version of the tree. It's very similar. The only real difference is that they've added kind of like an extra row of green pieces for the base of the tree, but otherwise the top of it largely remains the same. But it is nice to get another tree of a different size to kind of go with this set. Now that brings us to the last and final day from the advent calendar, Christmas Eve, day 24. And of course for this one, instead of getting like a Santa Claus kind of figure, this time we've gotten a snowman figure, and it's just like a brick built snowman, so it's not really a minifigure. It's minifigure like, but I don't mind the look of this one, but a kind of simple build. I was hoping maybe for a couple unique pieces, maybe to make it a little bit more wizard themed, maybe give it like more of a wizard's hat or something like that for the snowman, but it's still a nice way to end off the advent calendar with a good figure to have at the end to add to your village. Now to show off some of the intended play value for the box that these sets came in, we actually did set up a bit of a diorama with all of the sets kind of put down and incorporated into it to make it look like a nice little diorama set. And I like the fact that we got pieces to kind of go into each of the buildings, kind of build them out and flesh them out a little bit, but it is a little bit limited though because you only have so many pieces to work with. It overall makes it look pretty good, adds that little bit of extra play value. Now, an interesting thing that they did with this set is instead of distributing the minifigures kind of more randomly, it looks like they were actually spaced out intentionally because you get one minifigure every 4 days. So now that we've had a chance to take a look at the overall advent calendar and all of the builds that come each day, if you want a little bit more in-depth look at each of the builds, we're going to be releasing those videos, like I mentioned, leading up from December 1st up until December 24th as we lead up to Christmas. Overall, I think the advent calendar is not too bad, especially the fact that you get the diorama that you can build, but I will say one of the downsides I've noticed is that some of the builds are kind of small piece count and kind of simple builds that maybe could have used with just a few extra pieces or just a slight change in the way that the design was done, just to add a little bit more detail or a little bit more interesting kind of look to it overall. Like the bench, for example, it's 6 pieces, pretty simple, but they could have added a couple of small extra pieces. Even maybe one of the lamps could have been added onto the side of it just to add something more to the build. Now, personally for me, one of the big upsides to the advent calendars is that we are not getting stickers. I love the fact that we get printed pieces for all of them and a couple of interesting prints as well. For an example, we get the printed wanted poster and the printed Hogwarts sign. So now that we've finished taking a look at this advent calendar, I think for me personally, it's going to be a great addition to my collection, especially with the minifigures since I didn't have any of these minifigures. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on this advent calendar. Is there maybe some different builds you would have liked to see, or do you have any custom ideas on like how to improve some of these mini builds? And don't forget to like and subscribe and get the bell on to be notified about our next videos. And keep an eye out for all the videos coming out in December as we lead up to Christmas. Now, before the holiday season hits, just be sure to tell everyone that you just got bricked.